Okay, there should be sound. There should be sound now. Hopefully. Great. Is it double? Or is it okay? I don't know, he keeps fiddling with this. Device. Okay, I'm trying to figure out why there is no screen capture. Screen. Desktop. There we go. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. And then my face. Oh my god, it's so annoying. I'm sorry guys, I don't know who is who's killing it for me. Damn it. Blending mode, subtract. Oh my god. 1 second, I almost got it, I think. Blending mode. Add. Multiply. Well, I'm here. Order, move up. Jesus Christ. Well, you can see it somewhat, and I'm here. Wait, I'm using the wrong one? Oh my god. There we go. Oh. Thank the Lord. I fixed it. Hello everybody. I'm sorry for that. I have no idea why my setup is getting fiddled with. Oh, I'll have to take it up with whoever is responsible. But yeah, welcome to the stream. I'll put on the music again. All right, it's Wednesday. It's bootcamp time, as always. My name is Oliver, and student at CADA, third semester right now. And today we are going to be texturing in Blender. And normally when I texture, I use Substance Painter, which is very good for realistic textures. But you can do a lot of it in Blender too. I'm gonna introduce you guys to grunges today, which is basically extra noise on your textures. So if you want to dirty things up, make them more spooky or dystopian or something. And as you can see, we have a kitchen from dear Francesca, who has been on the stream sometimes. She made this a while ago. It's her first project actually here at CADA. So it's over a year ago now. So we're using her kitchen and we're going to be texturing it. Now, however you want to texture it is up to you. So if you want to make a very cute, pretty kitchen, you can do that. If you want to make a very dirty, gross kitchen, you can do that as well. I'll try my best to help you, and we'll see if we can make it work. Again, this is not my main software, but I've got an idea of how we can make it work, and we'll play around with it together, and we'll see how far we get. We're not gonna be able to texture the whole kitchen today, though, because it's a lot. So we'll see how far we get. So as always, I'm gonna start by introducing whatever we're going to be using of movement and shortcuts and hotkeys, and then we're going to go right into it. So today there will be no texture painting. For those of you who were there last time, you saw how that went. Phantom asked, which one is this? Which one is what? Like which stream it is? Which I'm gonna give you guys this, so don't worry about that. If it's the kitchen you think of. Otherwise I don't know. But good thing you wrote that type of kitchen. It's, well, it's just I don't know. And it's not IKEA, that's for sure. She made it as a dystopian kitchen. So it's this one I have on my screen here. And I'm gonna send it to you guys. So everybody go to the chat and find the link I just sent you. It is an FBX. Or which one we're going with? Well, I'm gonna show a decently pretty one, I think, but I'm gonna, let you guys decide. I'm gonna show you how to do the different ones, and then you can go crazy, right? I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna make a nice looking one, but you can choose whichever one you want when I show the different methods. But download the file, and I will, by the way, if you're new here, very welcome, of course. If something is going too fast, if I'm talking too fast, I'm moving over something too fast, write me in the chat really quick and I'll slow down and I'll stop and I'll help you. Because I'm not supposed to just, run through things and lose everybody on the way. I really want to teach you guys something. So be sure you grab hold of me in the chat if there's anything you need. Okay? I keep looking over here on the other screen to see if anyone has questions or tips and tricks or whatever. So please use me. And you can always scroll back, of course, in the video. And here you can see what I've been clicking if you need that. So you've downloaded the link I sent in the chat. You've opened Blender. Inside Blender, you click File, and you click Import, and you click FBX. And under your downloads, you should have this kitchen texturing. And you just import it. And once you've imported it, you should be having something like this. If you have a big cube in the middle, that is from because you opened a scene. So you just click it and you click delete. Okay. So how do we move around? You drag and drop. You can also drag and drop. Nice, that works. Easy peasy. Hold middle mouse to move around. Hold shift middle mouse to pan. So middle mouse to rotate, shift middle mouse to pan, and scroll wheel or control scroll wheel to zoom in and out. If you don't have a mouse, I suggest you get one, but you can also use this up here. Rotate, pan, and zoom. Okay? What's this actually? Oh, okay, nice. So that's actually most of what we have to do. We don't have to move anything. We don't have to go back and forth a lot of modes. So first off, a lot of this hopefully has UVs. And first I need to show you what UVs are for those of you who don't know. I do this every time. Oh, this doesn't work. Oh, that's not there. Okay, I'll find a Google file. Send to UV. So in order to texture something, you can do multiple things. First off, you can just add a material. Super simple. And a material, what is that? That is basically just a color that you can apply some different attributes to. So if I go here up in the corner, you have something called viewport shading. You need to do this in order to see any textures. And you can see I already played around with the floor. I'm gonna delete that though, but just to give you guys an example, let's say we want this wall here to be any color. Then I wanna remove my face for a second. And that's my screen going. Oh my God. Where? Oh my god. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm gonna get it. Screen. There you go. Okay. So, oh, there we go. Okay. So down here, you have the material tab. So left click on the wall, go to material. You can see it's already made a name. If there's nothing here, let's pretend there's nothing. I'll delete it. It should look like this. And you click new, and you made a material. And I'm gonna call this wall. And you can call it whatever. Just call it wall shader. And you have a lot of options down here. You can click on the base color and you can change the color. So you can make it brownish. You can also change the value. That means how white or black it is. So let's make it very dark. And yeah, you have a texture on a wall. So if you want to make a more cartoony kitchen, I would suggest you just do this. You don't have to do anything else. You just apply colors. Just click this. You find the material you made here. You click on the little icon here, and you click wall shader, and you just, duplicate it, and then you make a new one for new objects. Okay. Gonna reset this back to wall. There's a lot of other things you can do, which I'm gonna go into later, but that's the easy way. That's the cartoony. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it better than that. You just apply color and some stuff. But what we want to do is we want to do the same thing I've done with the floor. We want to apply textures. We want to give it some detail, some nice looking realistic feel to it. The other one is, again, cartoony, very fast. So how do we do that? We need to do the UV unwrapping I talked about. And what are UVs? The best thing I can do is I'm gonna make one cube. I'm gonna isolate it, and I'm gonna go into UV editing. So basically what UVs are is that you take a 3D object and you, like the Santa here, you spread it out over a 2D plane. So it's the same as if you have a piece of candy and with some wrap on, it has been painted on weirdly. This looks very, very odd. You can tell the face is what it is, but you can't tell that the feet will match the way they are until you actually wrap it around. So that's what we're doing. We're just doing it in reverse, and then we're putting it back on. I think that's the way to explain it. So basically, what people have done with this cube is they've cut it open so it is opened up as nicely as possible. What you could have done is you could have cut it up everywhere. Let me just show how that looks. This is not how you should UV unwrap, by the way. And I'm gonna right click, mark scene. Just gonna show. So now I have made it cut everywhere. So these are all individual pieces. It's not gonna look very nice when you put it on, unless it's all the same color, of course. So you wanna make sure you wrap it nicely. And if possible, you wanna make the seams, the places where you cut it, in places where it makes sense. So let's say you have a table. You wanna make the edge at the corner or the sides. This thing here. This is a very good example as well. This one. So I want to make the seams at the sides where you're not gonna see it. I don't want a seam going in the middle here because I want the texture to be nice and straight and looking very, very clear. So that makes sense. So here you can see it's a good example where it has been cut texture-wise. So that's what we want to do. But let's just see if we have textures already. So let's take this pot here, because maybe Francie already did it for us. Let me go check. Yeah. So as you can see here, if you click on it, on an object, and you go to UV editing, you can see if it's been unwrapped or not. And you can see this is nicely unwrapped. She cut off the top, she cut off the sides, and she cut off the middle part. I don't know if you can see what the seams are. You can't. But anyway, it's nice. If you can't see it, you have to click A. You have to go into edit mode if you're not, by clicking tab. Also go up here. Here, click edit mode. Click. Whoa, that was everything. And then you can see the UVs. Okay, have I lost anybody so far? Is there anyone who does not get this completely? Let me know. I'll help you. But just you don't have to completely understand how it's supposed to be, but just as long as you understand the idea that you need to unwrap things to put textures on them. That's the most important part. So I hope everybody's with me. And this is a boring part. I know we're gonna go to the fun part ASAP. It's just an important step. So again, you wanna make sure you have UVs on stuff. And if there are some things that needs to be having the same texture, it makes sense to have them UV unwrapped on the same UDIM, it's called, same square, because then they fill less and it's easier for your software. But you can make a new UV unwrap for every single item if you want to. But okay, what do we do once we have UV unwrapped? Let's get to it. Let me see, what did she do with this urn? So Francie, she gave it like a nice texture like this. Looks really sweet. And I don't know if we can recreate that, but let's just try and do something with it, at least. So we can start by doing a simple thing. And what you want to do is you want to go to Google, Polyhaven. I use a lot. It's a nice website with a lot of textures. So go in here and go to assets and HDRIs. No, sorry, not sorry. I just used HDRIs earlier today, but textures, of course. We want textures. And some of these are free, some of these are not, as far as I remember. But you can search, and let's search for some kind of well, we can search for urn. I don't think. No, let's search for marble. And I think this one is kind of cute. This is more tile, so I'm gonna go for, just find one you like. You can do whatever you want, basically. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna click on download. 2K is perfectly fine. I don't want it to be too heavy. And when it's done downloading, let's give it a sec. I'll give you guys a second too. Okay. It's done. In my downloads, I want to extract all files. And I want to open the texture folder. So if you've done it correctly, you should be having this right now. And you should have, if you chose the same one as me, you should have 4 textures. Depending on which one you chose, you can have more or less. And let's just look at these. What do these contain? Oh, I can't open, 1 second. So the first one, called diff, is short for diffuse, which means color. So this one contains all the color information. That's all there is here. It'll just give you the brown, the gray, the other brown color. Okay? The next one here is called disp. That stands for displacement. And that is your height map. That is the one that's gonna actually extrude or push out the mesh. So as far as I remember, where it's white, it pushes out, and where it's black, it pushes in. So this will actually create height in your geometry. To use this, you do need a decent amount of geometry, as far as I remember. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So you need to subdivide your stuff, as far as I remember. The next one, the funny blue one, is the NOR GL. I don't know what GL is, but NOR means normal map. And this is the one that's going to simulate your height. So it's not actually going to create height on your textures. It's just going to make it look like there is some extra detail. So this is very used, very nice. You don't need extra geometry for this one. You always want it for realistic looking stuff. And lastly, this one here is our roughness, which actually just tells you how shiny or not shiny stuff is. So now we're gone over these. Again, the boring stuff. We're gonna go into the fun stuff. I'm gonna open up my Blender file. I'm gonna choose my urn. I'm gonna go into shading. It's this one here. I'm gonna, on my numpad, on my keyboard, wait. Just turn this back on. Oh, I'm clicking one. You can see here, I will click the comma key or dot key on my numpad to zoom in on the urn. If you got some weird stuff out here, you can always move them in. And what you will see is you have this Principal BSDF is your basic shader. And because Franchi already used this, there's a normal map here with us, which we're going to use. For showcase purposes, I'm going to delete it. But what do? We have the same things we did in our material we had earlier. So we can just change the color actually, if we want. And you can do the same thing. So now we want, of course. Again, if you don't see any color, make sure you are not in solid mode, but you are in material preview mode. And to the fun part, let's go find our textures. And I want to take all these guys and I want to move them in here. You can also do one at a time, of course. And then first, yeah, you should do one at a time. I want to find my diffuse, is this one. And I want to move this. Let's just give me some space. This one, diffuse. I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to put the color into the color. And already you see, oh, very nice. We have a color going on. It's very flat right now, so this is just the color. What I usually like next is the roughness. That's again the shininess of object. So here we know you want to use the color because you can see the channel it takes is also a gray one. And as you saw before, this is not a color map. This is a black and white grayscale. So we apply this, and you might not see a difference right now because there's no light in here, but it should make it react differently to light. That is the idea. Oh, you can see there's a change. Oh, you can see it a lot actually. It's a lot less shiny here. Next up, let us find our normal NorGL. And for this to work, you can see we have a blue little thing here, and this is yellow. This is not going to work. So we need what's called a normal map. And to create that, you can click Add. The kitchen model, you find it here. 10OF. I just sent you a link. Download that and drag and drop it into Blender. And you should have the kitchen model. Yeah, Shift A, Shift and A. Oh, that's not the one. And we want to search normal map. Boom. And you can see you want the color in the color and the normal in the normal. And you might not see a big difference, but if I increase the sky a lot, you start to see the cracks here become more apparent, especially there. Now you can really see it. Like, usually you don't want to turn this up too much. You just want, you know, a bit. One is usually fine, but in this case, we can go a bit further. And lastly, we have our displacement map. Again, I rarely use this, but it can be nice. So what you want to do is you want to make a, I think it's called bump map. And let me see here. We want the normal from our normal to go in here and the bump to go in here because we want to use both. And next up, we want the height to come from the height map or displacement. And this is also a non-color. This is very important. The color space here, change this to non-color, otherwise it's not going to work as it should. And let me see if it is actually working. Well, this is working at least. Let me see. Something is definitely happening now. Let me try something real fast. I'm just playing around with it. Yeah, now you're really seeing a difference here from a bump map. It's definitely doing something. So you can play around with this a lot, of course. Let me just try one more thing, just playing around with it. Because there's also something called displacement, and that might be what we're actually looking for. Let me just do this before we... So make sure it doesn't go explode on me. It does do something. So I would think actually it would do it more, but now you can really see we're getting some detail here. Let me just try something. Yeah, so you can play around with this as much as you want, but the main point is this. You want to set up the height and bump map, and you have a very realistic looking tile thing. What we should try and do is actually use the same setup for the tiles on the wall. Oh, it's not it's just a texture. Let me see here. What should we do next? Let me see. We can do the floor next. Let me just delete what I made here. Okay. So for the floor, let's make something very nice. Again, we go to Copenhagen. Boom. We go to textures. And for the floor, I like some, you can search or you can just find here under wood or floor. And I like my, where are they? I think it's on the floor. I think, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I found it earlier. It's the wood that's going like this. I don't know the name for it. Herringbone is called. Oh, it's right there. Oh my god. I want the herringbone. I'm gonna download this one. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. And with this, I will show you a technique to make it even more dirty as well. After it's downloaded. So I'm gonna go to my file here, downloads, herringbone. I'm gonna extract it. Textures. And I'm gonna do the same thing. This time though, I'm gonna just put them in one at a time because it's otherwise it goes crazy. Again, this has UVs already, so you don't have to UV unwrap it. And I don't think you have to do this with anything. If you need to do it with something, you simply just click on the object and you go into edit mode by clicking up here. You click A for everything, U for unwrap, and then you just do the smart UV project. I'm not going to do it now because there's no need to, but that's what you want to do. So again, click on object, tab for edit mode, or click up here, A for everything, U for unwrap, and you want a smart UV project. Okay, but let's not do that now. Let's just keep applying our texture on the floor. Find it, there it was. Let me take the normal and let me take the roughness. Make sure they're non-color. This is also a non-color, so both works. normal map for our normal map converter. Put this in here. Maybe up the strength a bit. And this is looking pretty cool. Again, you can add the bump as well if you want. I can do it one more time. Bump map. Put this in here. Take our displacement. And put... Yeah, so it's the color from the displacement for some reason. Why? I don't really know. But it does give it a much more refined look. So this is actually looking really realistic to my eyes. But if you want to dirty it up even more, you want to ruin it a bit. What you want to do is you want to search on Google for grunge texture. I'm going to search for grunge crack. Yes, something like this. I think that's very nice. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose, just something that you like that makes sense for you. And I want to download the image as a JPEG or something. Okay, so any kind of grunge, just type grunge texture and download whatever you find. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to find it in my downloads. Grunge, cracked, boom. And what I want to do is I want to mix these two together to create a new texture, basically. So what I want to do is I want to Shift A or add, and I want to type mix, and I want to find the mix color. And just plop it over here, put one color in the first one, another color in the second one. And we can go back and forth between these two. The problem right now is that this one has no color. Let me see what happens if I turn it to sRGB. Let me see here. Because right now it's not doing exactly as I want color-wise. Let me just check. It wasn't as bad earlier. Mix. Overlay. There we go. I think it's better. So what you can do is you can make another mix. And with this, you can simply change the color of this one. So this actually has no color. So now all it does, it is adding extra details. So if again I take this one and I plop it into my normal, which I also need a mix for. Let me just try again. Shift A, mix color. I'm gonna give myself some space here. I actually want two of these. Control C, Control V. So I want this one to go under B and this one to go under B. And then I want a second of these grunges. If it's a bit too much, guys, let me know if I should stop and explain a bit. Right now I'm just applying it and see if I can get it to work. So I'm just applying the exact same stuff. Let's see if it does something. Cancel because of a party. Good luck. Thank you. Have fun at the party. Okay, as you can see, the floor looks much more jagged now. It's much more ruined. Can turn down the normal a bit, so it's not so crazy. But it's even more dirty than before. So if you don't like that, don't add a grunge. But this is a way you can do this, and you can change, you know, the color as well this way with the mix color. if you don't like the initial color. But I do not want to make the grunges. I just like the way it was before. So I'm going to put everything back. There we go. I'm going to do this. Color to here and this one to there. Take this out. Great. So now you know how to apply textures. So go crazy now. We just want to apply the hell out of this kitchen. So figure out, okay, what is this? This is wood. Then you probably want another wood texture. And this table here, what did she use? Oh, that was also some kind of wood. This one is some kind of metal you want to use. Maybe change the color with the color mix node I just showed. And you just want to go crazy. The windows, of course, you don't want to make a texture. I can actually show that really fast. The windows you want to be transparent. So go to the material tab. Can you see it from my face? I don't think so. Where's my... There it is. Okay. So you have the material tab down here. I click on the windows. And I'm gonna go down to transmission. And I'm gonna crank it up to 1. And now you can see that they should... Oh, 1 second. Oh, wait, there is no windows. There's... 1 second. Okay, there is no windows. That's because she used this instead. Okay, so she just faked some windows. Well, it's the same idea. You still want to make the weight of a specular go all the way up. I think it's just because we can't see the... Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to take the alpha here down to actually see through it. And the roughness you probably want to take down too. There we go. See, now you can see through them. If the alpha is low enough. There we go. So again, transmission, full on, alpha down, and roughness you decide. But low roughness makes sense because it's glass. So, all right. So lastly, before I start texturing Mark, I want to show you guys a way to do this a lot faster than manually going in and applying shaders to everything, because that takes a long time. So Blender has this pretty cool add-on, which is made by a guy called Blender Guru, called Polygon. There's probably other add-ons too, but I just know this one. So you want to go to Polygon, create an account, and then you download the Polygon with 2 eyes. Then you download the app, and it should show up over here. Polygon. And then I need to log in. Of course. Let's see if I can remember it. Okay. So what you do here is you just search for whatever you might need. And let me just make sure. The only problem is here is if it's not free stuff that comes up. It's a bit annoying. One thing, guys, I'm just double checking. Okay. Okay, it does not show the free ones at first for some reason. Free, select category, free. There we go. So now you can just choose from all these. So if I click on my kitchen fridge thing, I click download 2K on this middle thing here. And you click apply, and it automatically applies everything. Very nicely. So this is way faster. And I probably want some rock texture on these. I download and apply 2K. And you can see there's some stretching here, which means we probably should fix the UVs. And this one is turning the other way. So now we have some UV issues, which we should fix for sure. But I'll get back to that. I just want to, you know, get in the zone and let's do some textures. Let's pop them out. Maybe I want most. Oh, it's a plaster wall actually. Let me take this one actually. I want it to be a nice. Apply this. Apply this. Okay, this does not work, and this could be because we don't have UVs on this. Let me check. Oh, it does have UVs. Why is it not working then? It's a bit weird. If you can't see this, you have to click up here and click on polygon. You have to go down and applying existing. It already has a material. Oh, it's because it has two materials. So if you see two over here, you might want to delete one of them to get the other one to show. And it should be better. Okay, let me look at the reference again. All this is wood. This is, the sink is metal plast thing. So I might want to put some metallic on that. Let me see what I have. Yeah, this goes metallic for sure. Then I want to see maybe some wood. No, don't like that one. Okay, I want to go to the free. Let me just apply this one. Let me apply this to all of them. And you can multi-select several if you want to just give the same ones the same. Nice. So see how fast we can texture something? Again, it's not the best ever, but it's definitely working for now. If you want some fast results. And this one, another thing you can do, because we already have our herringbone, which is the floor. You can click on the table, click over on the little icon here, and we can find the floor somewhere. There's a lot of textures here. Floor, and you have the same. Very nice. And this way you can, if there's some textures you can't find on the polygon app here, you simply just download some new ones and you reapply them. And that's gonna work out just fine. I hope this makes sense to everybody. Is there any questions? Fire away. It's a good time now. Because now we're so far in it that yeah, it would make sense to do it now. Let me know what I want to do for this one. This is a basic one today, but it's good to get good at this, because you can very easily make your stuff look good fast. So here I actually have something I want to do with my base color. So I want to add in a mix, Shift A, mix color. And this one I want to be a lot more black. Oh, it's all very interesting to see, but I'm going to go and find the first row. Yeah, sure, you can do that, Andrew. I hope you could learn a bit here, at least about how texturing works and what you need to do. So good luck for sure. this to be darker here. I'll call this fridge and handles. And I want to change this one to fridge handles. So now these are different color. And if there's stuff you don't have time to texture, or you don't want to texture, you simply just click on it and delete it. Simple as that. Now all of this. So this has very interesting textures. I don't want to use all that. So I'll see what the free store has to offer here. Oh, we can use this actually. Maybe I want to make this gold instead. Yeah, it's massive, the learning curve, but it takes some time in the start and it goes pretty fast with like getting the hang of it, I would say. For sure. It does get a lot faster. It's just the moment you start, it just feels a bit overwhelming. And then you kind of get into it. Gonna add some ceramic here. Just gonna make the same on all of them for starters. The bottle here, I'm just gonna make that glass. So that was easy. We go to transmission, full on, take the alpha very much, take a bit down, and the roughness a bit down too. We have a little bottle here. This one was also ceramic. The utensils here, I want them to be metal. So that was, oh, that was not this one. Is it this one? Oh, that's weird. This one, let's give them these metal. So what you can also do, maybe I actually want this to be marble. I think I want it. What they also have here is you can get some random, stuff. So this is just some utensils. It's not a texture. This is, actual stuff. So we get it here. So I can G to move, and I can just put them wherever I want. So say I want them up here in the kitchen. G and Y. G and X. G and Z. And S to scale. I can put them in here. Now I have some utensils as well. All right. So easy. There's a lot of good add-ons for Blender. That definitely makes it easier if you know how to use them. I would definitely recommend that. All these nodes I'm not gonna texture. I can keep this one. This is a little, this just needs metal. So I just apply a metal material to it because it's a magnet. All these, maybe I want this to have this one actually. Yeah, I think that's might be better. And these guys can have this one, this one. I'll delete all these because I'm not gonna texture them. All these. Oh, this is also the fridge, so better texture that. Gonna give it this one. There we go. Now we have a fridge. So the only problem with what I'm doing right now is that none of these textures really correspond to each other, right? It's not really making sense, this kitchen. I would not want to have it for sure. But this is just about the practice, right? so it doesn't matter that much. Don't worry too much about it. It's just about really getting to understand how to apply the textures. And it's already a lot more interesting than when we first made it, right? First got it. This is also some kind of wood, so we can also take this for sure. So much weird stuff here. All of these are nice. That'll be cool to use. Maybe this one actually is pretty interesting. Yes, sir. That one's fitting pretty nicely. Awesome. Hope you get the idea, guys. This is it's actually everything I wanted to show you guys. Last thing, let me just delete all this we're not gonna use. Maybe not that one. Maybe just this one. Oh. Let me just delete all this. There we go. So, last thing I want to show you guys is how to do some light really fast. So what you want to do is you want to go into layout, Shift A, and you want to go to light and get a point light. By default, it's placed here in the middle, so you can just click G to move it. And to see what you're doing, you go up here and you click on the viewport shading. Everything should turn pretty dark because the power is down at 10 watt, and that's not a lot. So let's crank it up to 1000, which is doing a bit here. Crank it even higher, maybe go 2000. And you have some exterior light. Shift D to duplicate, put one inside and decrease it a lot to like 500 maybe. Put it up here. Oh, that was the wrong button. And we can just put up in the lamp here. Like so. And maybe 100 is better. Some dim lighting, and if you want, you can Shift D, put one over here. Shift D, put one over here, and Shift D, put one here. And now we have some light. They're all pretty powerful, so you probably want to take them more down. Maybe 50. Maybe 50 is still too much. Because I kind of like the light coming from the one outside. Be a bit more powerful. What if I go with 10? So maybe 10 was okay in here actually. Yeah, now we still get the shadow from the one outside. Then we can maybe get one more. Just to light up the whole thing a bit. Something like this. And you can play around to get some interesting light, right? It's all up to you how you want to light it. But you basically at light, you can also choose it to be an area light. This basically has a direction. And you can scale this one up by clicking S. Change the size here. You can change the watts. And you can have a more directional light if you feel like it. And yeah, you can go light up your scene. Can also add what is called a sunlight. And this is pretty strong by default, so I want to take it down a bit. So I want to make it go this way. So now we actually have the light we try to simulate with this one. Almost. Oh. Now we should have that. Now we got some light going in here. Turn up the strength a bit. Nice. And this is looking a lot more interesting. Cool, guys. Hope you learned a bit about applying textures fast, at least. Doesn't matter if you got something that looks good or not. It was just about playing around with it. So, hope that got you somewhere, for sure. It's gonna be more fun next time, where we're gonna be sculpting. It's always interesting, always fun. Texturing is not my favorite thing. It's very satisfying when you get something to look nice, but sculpting is more, you know, you craft something in hand, which I like a lot. So I'll see you guys next Wednesday. It's gonna be, I'm thinking about what we should make, but I want to make something that looks kind of cool. It's always fun. Great. If there's any questions, you can drop them now. I have like 2 minutes until I have to go. Otherwise, yeah. Usually we if we make something that is nice, we put them on our CADA Bootcamp Discord. So if you want to share what you've made today, you can. It's under here, Discord, CADA, and 3D Bootcamp. I'm not wild about what I made today. I just really wanted to show you guys different ways to make textures. You see my floor is being blown out a lot. So it does work. The bump for sure. Yeah, so I just want to show these things. It's whether I will make something good. But if you guys play around with this and you make something, a kitchen that you like, you feel free to put it up in the Discord, and I'll have a look later. But otherwise, until next time, thank you for today, guys. Make sure to save if you haven't already. I haven't today. I'm just gonna close it down. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening. See you, Phantom. It was a pleasure.